Flies are a common household pest that can be difficult to control due to their quick reproductive rate. It is a common misconception that flies only live for 24 hours, but that is only true for certain species such as mayflies. House flies and other larger fly species can live for several days or even months, which makes them even harder to manage. Flies are carriers of pathogens and bacteria that can contaminate food and cause illness, which is why it's important to get professional help to exterminate them. Houseflies are the most common fly, but there are other species like the horsefly, fruit fly, tsetse fly, gnat, and mosquito. The lifespan of each fly species varies, but in general they have a shorter lifespan than people might think. Understanding the fly life cycle is key to comprehending how these insects propagate and affect their environment. The cycle begins with the egg stage, progressing through larval and pupal stages before reaching adulthood. Female flies strategically lay their eggs on or near a food source, ensuring that once the eggs hatch, the larvae can immediately start feeding. After undergoing several molts, the larvae then harden into a cocoon, entering the dormant pupal stage. After a few days, fully grown adult flies emerge, ready to continue the cycle. Fly eggs. Female flies lay their eggs in small batches, ranging from 70 to 200 eggs at a time, and can lay as many as 500 eggs in just a few days. The number of eggs a female fly can lay depends on its size, which is largely influenced by its nutrition during the larval stage. Fly eggs are typically white and around 1.2 millimeters in length. They can be laid individually, but are typically found clustered together in dark, warm and humid areas where they can stay moist and safe. The hatching time of fly eggs typically lasts between 8 to 20 hours, but can also take several days, depending on the temperature and humidity levels. Fly eggs require moisture to hatch, and the ideal temperature for hatching is between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. When several flies lay eggs in close proximity, it can result in large masses of larvae and pupae. Fly larvae. Flies in their larval stage are commonly referred to as maggots. Fly larvae are typically pale and worm-like in shape, with one end that tapers into a point with tiny black hooks. They use these hooks to latch onto and feed on substances like animal remains, manure and garbage that's found where they were hatched. The larvae go through 3 instar phases and grow to be around 7 to 12 millimeters long before they form a pupa around themselves. The length of the larval stage depends on factors like temperature and humidity, but it typically lasts between 3 to 7 days in optimal conditions, and as long as 55 days when conditions are poor. Fly pupae. Fly pupae are an essential stage in the life cycle of flies. After the larval stage, the larva enters the pupa stage, where it grows into an adult fly. During this stage, flies do not move or feed, but they develop a cocoon-like shell where they grow their wings, antennas, and legs. Once the fly emerges from its shell, it is fully grown and in its adult form. The pupal stage is characterized by the formation of a pupal case made from the last larval skin, which varies in color from yellow to black as the pupa ages. While the larval stage was identified by a light thin worm with a tapered point, the pupal stage is a rounded dark brown oval with blunted ends. Pupae complete their development in 2 to 6 days at higher temperatures, but they require 17 to 27 days at lower temperatures. The emerging fly escapes from the pupal case through the use of a sac on the front of its head called the tilinum, which it inflates to apply pressure to break through the case. Understanding the pupal stage is crucial for controlling the population of flies, as this stage can be targeted with insecticides and other pest control methods. Adult flies. Reaching maturity is the final stage in a fly's life cycle where they have fully developed wings, antennas and legs. Adult houseflies are 6 to 7 millimeters long and usually live 15 to 25 days. In optimal conditions, a fly can survive up to 2 months if they can avoid death. However, without food, flies can only survive for about 2 to 3 days. Longevity is enhanced by the availability of suitable food, especially sugar. Flies are not nocturnal and will sleep at night because their vision in the dark is poor. At night, flies will retire to safe places to hide, like overhangs in buildings, trees, shrubs and tall grasses. Horse manure, human excrement, cow manure, fermenting vegetable matter and kitchen waste are highly favored sites for breeding. Within hours of reaching adulthood, flies are sexually mature and ready to reproduce and lay more eggs. They will seek out nutrition and a safe place to deposit their eggs almost immediately after an adult fly emerges from their pupal case.